Hello and welcome to a new video, and today I'm going to be showing you my journal from 2021. So let's just have a flip through. I started here very similar to 2020 with my year ahead spread and just filling out kind of a theme for the year, just sort of really setting the intention for the year to come, just kind of getting my bearings, figuring out what energies are playing out. And then for each card I pulled for each month, I wrote all of the messages in a little box here. So that was a really nice way to kind of record the energy that was going on. I then did a moon calendar, which was so helpful actually. Nice to have them all in one place so you can just flick back and forward and you know when your new moon is, you know when the full moon is, things like that, plus a calendar for each month as well. And I also, this was a new thing that I did a zodiac kind of calendar breakdown because it was something I personally wanted to learn more about. So more about each zodiac, what the timing is, what they're represented by. So like the planet, what crystal, what element, and what tarot card as well. Sorry, that's the tarot card. So that was really interesting to learn a bit more about that and do a whole spread. And in fact, this is available as a printable on my Patreon page as well if you wanted to have your own version to print out and stick into your journal too. As is this actually, the Make-A-Wish. So this was something I didn't actually end up filling out, but it was an idea of setting intentions for the new year, making a wish, dear universe, and then writing out the things that I'd wished to bring into my existence or my experience. So this was really fun, just simple card spread. I used my questions deck, which I often use alongside my tarot cards. In the morning, if I don't know what questions to ask, I will pull from the questions deck first, and then I'll pull a tarot card second. And then this was just a fun page I created as a way to sort of create some boxes and somewhere to note down the messages that came through. So here's the actual January setup. Again, I did a calendar, put my moon phases in. I just did a really nice collage of inspiring images, a bit like a visualization board, and then just kind of doodled around the edge. And I also printed out that printable again and cut out the appropriate section or zodiac for January and stuck that in, again, just as another reference. So again, I think these are questions from my questions deck. And then I've just written out what the messages are underneath and just used a load of printable stickers around the edges. This is a really fun collage using magazine images and just picking out a couple of words here from a ripped out page from a book. And then, yeah, just free flow writing. This is my new moon spread, so thinking about the things, my intentions, things I want to bring in more, things I want to practice more. Patience is still something I'm working on, as is self-care. And then really free flow writing here, more detail about my intentions of what I want to do. 2021 was the year of number 5. I was going to do a whole numerology thing again to learn a bit more about numerology, and I never finished that page. So that was the intention there. This was pulling some cards, so I pulled 5 cards and literally just wrote down what they were here and then wrote the message that came through here. It's not even finished really. Not finished colouring the background of that in, but nice to just add in a generic photo as well. So that was quite a fun way to record a card spread. Again here, sacred session. So this is something that I do on my Patreon. It's one of the higher tiers, and I do a video card reading every Tuesday. And so this was the cards that came through for that, the message. And I'll quite often ask you to pull a card with a question in mind, and then you get a personal message for yourself too. So that's what this is about. It'd be nice to add some stickers in, but I never got that far. This was quite a fun page, again very similar, just questions, so whether this is from my questions deck it could be, and then just decorating it, which is so fun. That's what I really love to do, decorate my pages with lots of stickers and imagery and just make it really pretty. Here's my full moon spread, again just card layout, questions, and then I actually made these in here. So this was full moon reading, what I'm manifesting and release. And then I just stuck some lined paper on the back and then wrote my message on there. And it was a really nice way to sort of tuck it in here. And it's sort of like a little secret extra page. Blank page. February, here we go. So I kind of had a focus, look, pinpoint focus. What's your main focus? So I guess I felt February I needed to be more focused than I was in January. Again, I've used my zodiac here and I've got my calendar again here. This is interesting, look, Mercury going direct. So I've obviously been really feeling the pull of Mercury retrograde as well. So that's sort of featured in here as well. So let's move across. I put in a self-care tracker this time. Again, feeling like I wanted to be a bit more focused, figuring out what I'm doing. So I was doing quite a bit of yoga, I was doing card pulls every day, a bit of journaling, but you can sort of see here where I'm dabbling in things. And then I started doing a mood tracker, which I never actually finished, as you can see, but I quite often find these correlate together. So the better my self-care is, the better my mood is. Really simple when you kind of put the two together. So here we are, daily card pulls. Again, this printable is available to buy in my shop, but you do get it for free if you join my Patreon, and there's a few different layouts in there to use. This is a great one. It's a 28-day, so again, anytime you could use it as a 4-week challenge for yourself. Put in the deck that you want to use, And it's a really good way, especially if you've got a brand new deck, it's a really good way to get to know a new deck. So you could do like a 4-week challenge for yourself where you just pull a card every day and note down what the message is. It's quite fun as well when it's laid out like this to see the reoccurring themes. So here, look, day 10 and day 14, I pulled the same card. That's interesting to see. It's the same themes coming up that I'm working through. Just noting down some things for myself, some little mantras: anchor the light and live your purpose. So again, great reminders, simple, easy. It'd be nice to colour them in, but I haven't. So there we go. 100-day project ideas. I don't think I ever actually started a 100-day project, but I intended to. And so here was a load of ideas. I think this is what often happens to me, is I have too many ideas, I get overwhelmed, and the overwhelm means that I struggle to choose, and then I don't choose anything and I don't do it. Does anyone else relate to that? So I'm trying to be better this year. 100-day project starts next week. And so I'm just going to keep it simple and do 100 days of journaling. Just keep it super simple, and then it kind of, you know, lends a little bit more to itself. You can add in different aspects. Here was, I think this is one of my, maybe it was a YouTube video, it might have been a Patreon video, but this was how to make a visualization board, so to do with manifesting. Over the road here, this is the spiritual aspects of tarot. So I was trying to look at sort of higher aspects of tarot, and look, I've not actually filled it out. So that's kind of interesting to maybe shift back into. This is fun as well, a chakra reading. So having 1 to 7 cards, one for each chakra, to kind of give yourself an energy reading. And then overall energy vibrational level, you've got a major and a minor there as well. So that could be quite fun and interesting to do, just as a side note. And here, love this page. Look how fun and colourful it is. I think this is using either my watercolours or my Neo Caran d'Ache crayons. How can I realign with my highest truth? So I'm pretty sure this is a question from my questions deck, and then I pulled a few cards here and just noted down what it was, and then literally created an artwork around it. So that is a really fun way of journaling. Makes the page really pretty. Belief, that was something I was personally trying to work through. Belief, trying to shift my beliefs as well, from limiting to more open. So I believe in myself, I believe in my dreams, just kind of trying to do something here around belief. And a really fun little collage here. I think wings to me represents freedom, so I love to sort of include wings when I can. It's a bit of symbolism in the imagery there. Never actually filled this out, but again, I made a really pretty page with some of my questions in here, and yeah, kind of never finished it. Empty page again. Here we are, March. I tried to shift things around a bit, smaller calendar, just the new moon and the full moon, and did important dates, which I've never done before. A little mood tracker on the side, and as you can see, I barely filled it out, but the intention was there at least, and at least it shows that I was trying to focus more on my mood, and just, you know, be more gentle with yourself as well, and just really note where you're at, note when you're dipping, maybe try and note why you're dipping in energy. Maybe you just need a rest, and that's okay. Like, I think sometimes we push ourselves too hard, and it's okay that you need a rest. Daily card pulls, again, that's the printables again. This time it's a 31-day. I didn't manage all of them. I always start off with good intentions, but it somehow wanes throughout the month. So it's always interesting to see, but it's great to see the intention was there. And it's something I'm always working on, just trying to dedicate a daily practice to my card pulls. This is a really fun, easy page. Look at it. It's just a few kind of positive reminders. Find joy in the process, play, experiment, positive mind, positive vibes, positive life, and then just collaging. So again, playing around with images. Really fun way to journal. I love journaling like this. And it makes it simple as well, doesn't it? Simple and a joy to read. This was again a really, really fun, took me ages because of all the drawing and everything. Really fun way to journal. Again, it's a lot of collaging, adding in some words here. So love yourself more deeply. Self-love is the key. Care for yourself more nourishingly. Accept yourself more honestly. So again, this is a card reading, and this was how I recorded the message. So very visual. Keys as well. So trying to find the keys. Yeah, self-love is the key. So, you know, using symbology as well, beautiful images, and really trying to note down what the card reading was telling me. This is from one of my printables. In fact, I've got the wildflower printable here, and this is, I'm pretty sure this is from one of the printables on Patreon as well. So stuck them all down ready to use and never actually filled them out. But sometimes the intention of just sitting to collage really is so good for your mind, just so good mentally. Now, a new layout here. I decided to try and stay more focused by actually giving myself goals for the week. So this was really fun. Again, collaging. I might try this again. This has been a great reminder, actually. This worked really well for me. Just a fun little collage to start with, and then write my goals for the week, give myself a tick box, and then do a daily thing. And trying not to put too many things in one day, because I always push myself too hard. So maybe 3 things max. I know I've got 4 on here, but just trying to work through my goals. This was in one of the vlogs I did, just stuff I was working through at the time, and I made a really beautiful, this is more like an art journal page to be honest, but a lot of writing there, just working through emotion, just being honest as well, being honest with myself, working through emotion. New moon, and then some words here, so very black and white, very simple, but just flowing across the page, not using the dots at all. That was really fun. And back to this again, the weekly goals and then a weekly layout. This worked really well for me. This was one of my Patreon journal with me videos, how I made this, how I put this together, painting a tree, and then we collaged the leaves in. Again, another weekly goals, and you can see how similar idea, I always put one of these at the top, so just a little collage of things, brightens up the page, and it's a joy to look at. Video ideas here, and then trying to be kind of more graphic about things that I'm working through, I'm feeling. So bird song at the time, spring and birds are just so special to me. So here we have a gouache bird. So again, this was a new technique. I've never really worked with gouache before, so it's really fun to work with it. And it's nice and matte as well, and I really like that. Acrylics can be a bit shiny. Signs of spring, I think this was a Patreon video as well of how to put this together. So sketching all of those out. Here we have a card reading. This is a message from a card pull, and then I made a beautiful artwork around it. So I am ever evolving and growing. I shift into joy as I embrace the changes that come. So just a really beautiful visual reminder. And over the page, very clinical, black and white, just a list. Sometimes it's good to just get things out of your head and onto the page. And I'm not afraid to then have something really what would seem perfect and beautiful versus something really practical. I think there's a place for all of that in your journal. April, again, I just did the full moon and the new moon here. Just a really pretty sort of decorative kind of opening page, kept it really simple. And then collaging, what is my mission? That was obviously something I was trying to work through at the time. Just focusing on my direction, really, what I'm doing and why and how I'm doing stuff. Really enjoying this weekly goals thing still, so you can see it's really helping me stay focused, stay productive. Oh, it says Joe Dispenza here, so I'm guessing I was going to put a quote here from Joe Dispenza, but never finished that. Oh, this was a meditation I was doing, a Deepak Chopra. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And Oprah, I think this was a meditation challenge, and I did about a week's worth, but I only actually noted down sort of 3 days. But yeah, I thought that was quite fun. It was gonna try and help me to expand on my meditation practice, because that's something that I don't make time for and I wish I did. April full moon, love, love, love this. So pink moon in Scorpio. I have got a pink moon printable where you can get all of these artworks and stuff in my shop, in my online store. And then I just did what I'm grateful for and what I want to manifest as well. So just really fun. I think the black and pink work really well together. And then over here we've got grounding. This was a 5-day challenge actually with printables you can cut out and stick in. 5-day challenge that I did for my patrons. So gratitude was another one of them. I think I was still trying to work out the details of it here. April new moon, so pulling some cards there, and haven't finished this spread, but at least I pulled all the cards, so that's, you know, I did what I needed to do on the day. Still working through that 5-day challenge. And this I think I made as a printable as well, so it's just a calendar, a big, this is not something I do often, a big double page spread calendar, card of the month and goals. So this is available as a printable on my Patreon. And this is quite nice to have a theme for the month here. So you can either refer back to your year ahead spread and use that, or you can pull another card which might be more specific to what you're working through as well. And you've got a little goals list here, and then you can use this for any month and just add in the dates wherever you like, write what the month is there. Here I was trying to make a printable. I did not like this. I thought the colours were horrible and ugly together. But I was trying to make a printable version of what I'd been really enjoying, which was my weekly goals and then the weekly layout. And I think this was the one I used in the end. It was simpler, prettier, and it also gives you a space there you can collage in for yourself, because I thought that was quite important. That was a fun part for me. Here we are. This is the 5-day challenge. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So these printables were just something to work through. It's a 5-day challenge of pulling cards every day. It gives you a theme. But yeah, that was over on Patreon. And yeah, it gave you a reason to sort of journal for 5 days as well, because sometimes, I don't know if you're like me, you sort of lose momentum and you're not sure what to journal about. Ways I've been receiving, that's quite an interesting theme when you start looking at that. But yeah, I didn't make a very decorative page out of it. But yeah, just trying to think about ways you're receiving and how you're not maybe noticing all the ways that you're receiving in your life. Not everything is about money. Reasons why I'm in love with my life right now. Again, just trying to focus on the positives and meditate on these and the feeling they create. So tapping into feeling, and feeling is energy after all. So this is one of my printables. This here, current energy, out of balance and overcome. So this is a card spread in one of my printables on Patreon. So that was quite fun to work through. I think this is also a card pull that I'm working through as well, and you can see I'm sort of just making more of a statement, almost like a mantra here. I'm devoted to my spiritual path and the creative expression of it, so really sort of almost dedicating it to myself, creating like a mantra that helps me move forward. Again, this is a card pull, so I just pulled 2 cards on the Sunday, wrote about what they kind of mean and then the overall message from that. And then, yeah, making an artwork kind of linked to this. So become the observer this week and find clarity in the details. So that's kind of interesting here, this idea of letting go, but also holding on to certain things. So don't know if you can see this. This is all penciled out, but I've not actually managed to go over it in pen. It says, loosen up, don't take life so seriously, get out of your head and back in tune with your heart. So that's going to be a nice page if I ever finish it. This was a printable, I'm pretty sure, for Patreon. So I just did some cards, spread questions here, and then gave you some boxes to fill out. So it's a really easy thing to print off, literally cut it in half and stick it into your journal so you can work on it straight away. And in fact, that's exactly what this is here, and I've not actually stuck it in yet, but as you can see, that's the actual printable then, ready to go and to be worked on. This was one of my Patreon videos of the Journal With Me tier, just playing around with how to make different flowers, hand-drawn flowers, decorative things, just different ways of decorating the page. And I'm pretty sure this was a Patreon video as well. Just, again, something really visual that ties in with the reading that's come through. So these are the cards that I pulled: Break the Habit, Abundance and Earth. And, oh yeah, this was really fun. The Healing Cauldron printable. So this was really fun. So it's really a colouring page. You could colour this in, but it gives you the question for each one. So you can write in what the card is that you pulled, for that question, and then you can write a bit more in your journal if you wanted to. Here we are into September, setting intentions for September, collaging, using some collage papers. These are available on Patreon as well. Back to my usual layout of all my moon phases in there to keep track. And then this was me trying to actually journal every day, so just being a bit more dedicated to my written journaling, just giving myself a page every day to write in. So again, you could just pull a card and then write about that. I didn't manage to do every day, as you can see, and I managed to get up to day 9. Oh, I did day 11 as well. So you can see I'd set up my journal. Oh, I did do quite well. I'm quite proud of that. Set it up like this, so collage some things in, put in what the day was and the date, and then it meant it was easy in the morning. Start, you know, first thing, you can just wake up and get straight on with it. Do some journaling. So I sort of dipped in and out there. This was quite fun, just some collaging around again. It's quite fun just playing around with ideas of how to make your journal look pretty and just developing your own style really within your journal, what you like to do. So even though I've not written anything, I've not done any card pulls, it's been quite fun to sort of collage these in and then draw around them. This was very different for me. I'm not saying I'm loving it, but I tried something a bit different. Tried stamps in here, collaging papers. I think it's the pinky red. I'm not the biggest fan of this colour, but there we go. It was something a bit different. Again, I've got my cards spread there and the message. This was a Patreon video, I'm pretty sure. What seeds are you sowing? And very much then working through how I put this together. And here we have another Patreon. Oh yeah, there's a few there. Is that the same one? No, they're different ones. So these were printables. So I've got the questions here, very much the same layout as before. There's the box there to write what cards you got, the question there pointing to it, and then you can write about what the message that came out for each one. And this is the Halloween one here as well. So very similar. So those are all on Patreon. And then, yeah, just really making notes of things. Midweek mindset is a Patreon thing I do every Wednesday or Thursday. Just make a note of what's going on sort of midweek. Oh, and here we are towards the end. So here you can see I've just jotted down some ideas. This I've chopped things out of, so that's interesting. Sometimes I use a page at the back where I either chop bits out and I stick them over if I've made mistakes somewhere, or I just, yeah, sort of use them for little notes and stuff. I've also then got, yeah, income streams here. And yeah, course ideas, things like that. So very much ideas. So sometimes I'll do that whilst I'm working through the front. I will flip to the back and I'll have like business stuff or important notes or things that I'm taking note of at the back, and then I get to a point which is here where the two merge together and they become one. So yeah, these are very much my back of my book notes in here. So yeah, I didn't get to the end of the year. I think I started with November on the next journal, but this was a pretty chunky journal for 2021 and I'm really pleased with it. There's some really fun things going on in here. I've really discovered that I really love collaging, still using my cards every day as well, so card pulls. It's just a really fun way to journal. And this feels way more meaningful to me than just sitting down and trying to get things out of my head. So this is a really easy way to sort of tease out what I'm actually working through, what's actually bothering me at the time. So that's why I love working in cards. So I hope that this has inspired you and your own journaling practice. Whether you use it for weekly spreads, you use it for card readings, or you use it as more of an art journal. There's all sorts in here, and as you can see, I'm not afraid to add them all together. A journal's never perfect, it's always a work in progress, as are you. And I send you lots of love, and I see you in the next video. Bye.